Did you know Judge Fein released Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah Hamilton from jail, but is also letting Melly have a chance of being released? A tweet would share, Judge Fein confirms that YNW Melly should be allowed a chance of a bond release until trial begins, stating that he's been sitting in jail for several years without a conviction. It's just not right, as Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah would acknowledge her family and friends who supported her while she was being detained in a Facebook post on Sunday, February 9th. The post reads, "Into my village, thank you to my village. I love you all so much, God's plan, not mine," as she allegedly didn't like how this was all broadcasted on the local news.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
But did you know this worked out for YNW Melly? It would be announced Melly has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers to be. He's been sitting in the jail for 2,159 days, leaving everyone, including the judge, very surprised.
No, let me repeat myself. Mr. Demons has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers to be. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So, how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's up to the Broward Sheriff's Office, but I can, as I said, I'm just asking for a week. And then I'm asking for at least a day or two.
Can you decide by tomorrow? I've also reserved all of tomorrow.
As the judge could not believe how long Melly's been sitting inside a jail without a conviction, he straight out told the prosecutors, "Give us a final reasoning why he shouldn't be released on a bond, or I'm letting him go." But this is where the prosecutors did the worst thing imaginable to Melly, forcing his best friend YNW Bortlen to snitch against him, as the prosecutors are sending in paperwork to have Melly and Bortlen tried together for one specific reason.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. Just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
It's pretty common sense. If YNW Bortlen knows he didn't commit this serious of a crime, he won't physically be able to sit there during trial and be sentenced to life inside a prison. His own lawyers also wouldn't let him do it as well, making it very likely he will begin pointing the finger towards Melly. But what you didn't know is that Melly's lawyer already tried pointing their finger against Bortlen in the original trial.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Revealing that it's always been YNW Bortlen that has been lying to the feds. He's the one that had powder on his hands, and he was the one that was with Juvie and Sackchaser when they passed away. They even went as far as to bringing up a forensic scientist that covered the passings to go into further detail about Bortlen having the powder residue on his hands.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained two component particles, and the left hand contained one particle characteristic of residue and one two-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was gunshot residue present on the hands.
But this is exactly why the prosecutors want Melly and Bortlen tried together. Bortlen's not gonna let this happen if he's sitting there. Even when YNW Melly was granted his mistrial, a report shared, YNW Bortlen tweets a mysterious message on the same day Melly's mistrial was declared. The tweet reads, "Mind games don't work on people like me," alongside a handshake emoji as if he's accepting some sort of deal. But this is only the start of Melly's issues. Did you know he needs to be released in order to make more money? It would be announced. YNW Melly's mother trends after she announces that she started a fans account while Melly stands trial, to then being featured on an interview speaking on why she did it and how much she made.
Why did you decide to break the internet the other day? You're saying that you're YNW Melly's mom and you're about to hit fans.
Why not? You make money while you sleep, and you know, I turned 40 this year. Why not do something crazy?
Did you start it yet though?
What? My only? Yeah.
How much you made the first day? I just need to know the first day.
The first day was pretty epic. It was pretty epic.
Give me a ballpark figure.
Like 40-ish, 50.
One day?
Day one.
This took the internet by storm. Even DJ Academics had to share.
So YNW Melly's mom has announced that she's gonna be starting her own. And I gotta be honest with y'all, man, like, this is perplexing. The reason why it's perplexing is because I can't understand why she's doing this. Your son is fighting for his life. How much, you know, there's certain mothers in hip hop, and you probably could name a few, I won't name all of them, that I feel like their son became stars, but they also wanted to be stars as well. Blueface's mom is one of them. The situation between Melly's mom and Melly, I always thought was interesting, but I never thought she'd be doing this. If you're wondering if she's doing this for money, this can't be a money play. Like, no way, no how.
But while DJ Academics claims that it's not about money, social media would disagree. Fans would dig up an old No Jumper interview from 2 years ago with Adam, B Slime, and Melly's mom, where Adam was telling Melly's mother and brother he imagines Melly spent a lot of money on his lawyers, with her sitting back and laughing while YNW B Slime would call out his brother for dumb purchases.
I would assume
But it's still,
that he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry and you're not here to wear the jewelry?
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend
That's
money
what
on.
bro. But
Yeah.
he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine, but it's just like, it was a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. And I'm like, bro. And now it's like he don't even want the chain no more.
It's important to note that Jamie King has been going through a lot. While starting a fans account could have been for money, many believe she was using it as an outlet to get her mind off of Melly's trial. We all saw during the original trial Melly having to ask her if she's okay during court hours.
Sorry.
We'll just don't do it.
But what you didn't know is YNW Melly is now facing a second case. They found disturbing evidence in Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah's iCloud account, which relates to Melly forcing her to not testify. This is known as witness tampering. This carries a life sentence in prison, regardless if Melly actually took out Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
This witness tampering case would be separate from his existing case of Sack Chaser and Juvie's passing, which means more lawyer fees, hiring new lawyers, and a lot more court sessions. However, the feds began their investigation on Mariah after people in Melly's hometown began speaking a lot about Mariah's involvement within in the crime. This resulted even in Juvie's own father doing his own investigation around town, asking people from all areas. He would end up learning the code words that Melly used against Mariah to make her not testify in the original trial.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
if found guilty, Melly will be sentenced to life in prison. But due to him witness tampering on jail phones, the jails stopped him from using phones or even looking at mail for the last year and a half. It got so bad that Jamie King even did an interview, exposing the county jail for not allowing Melly to use a phone or even look at his own mail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
But if the evidence is true that Melly has been using the jail phones to commit witness tampering, that's why they haven't allowed him to use it. However, the scary part is the feds wouldn't just keep Melly off of the phone and stop him from using mail if it was just a hunch that he was witness tampering. They definitely have hard-hitting evidence against Melly, which is why Jamie King would reveal she feels absolutely heartbroken for her son. She feels helpless as he's not even being treated like a human inside a jail.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
But YNW Melly's lawyers would then try arguing in court his innocence while trying to get him released from jail this week. And here's how they did. They would tell the newly added Judge Fein that in the original trial, there was never a firearm even found.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay. While also sharing GPS evidence from when the crime was going down, where GPS evidence reveals he was sprinting down the street away from the crime and that he was hiding into a bush.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot him. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah, he's like, yeah, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Zach and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're.
Do you believe that's enough evidence to have YNW Melly released from jail this week? Comment down below.